Guys, welcome back to the channel Global Immigrations and Visas News. In this video, we will talk about the most popular ways to immigrate to Canada from Pakistan. So before we begin, if you are new to this channel, please hit the like button and press the bell icon to subscribe to this channel, where you will get the detailed and updated information about the latest immigration policies and visas opportunities of all major destinations including the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Italy and much more. Folks, in 2023, Canada aims to welcome around 465,000 new permanent residents. By 2025, this target is increased to 500,000. Pakistan is one of the top source countries of new immigrants to Canada, which is currently home to over 300,000 Pakistani people. Pakistan remains in the top 10 source countries of new immigrants to Canada. Between 2016 to 2021, the number of Canadian immigrants born in Pakistan grew from 200,000 to 234,000, almost 34,000 people. Further, in 2022, about 6,400 Pakistani students came to Canada for their higher education. The best way to immigrate to Canada depends on your individual situation and your goals. So it is important to know your options and determine which pathway you are most eligible for to optimize your chance of successful immigration. Guys, here we will discuss some of the most successful ways which Pakistani nationals can use to immigrate to Canada. Federal Skilled Worker Program. The most popular way to immigrate to Canada is through economic immigration, which has over 100 available immigration pathways. One of these pathways is the Federal Skilled Worker Program, known as FSWP. The program allows candidates with work experience to apply for permanent residence, even if they do not have a job offer in Canada or have any connection to Canada. The FSWP targets foreign skilled workers who would be successful in Canada thanks to their foreign work experience, education and language ability. In order to eligible for the program, candidate must have 1 year of continuous full-time or equivalent paid work experience in the past 10 years in a skilled occupation classified under the National Occupational Classification (NOC) tier category 0, 1, 2 or free. Validated language ability equivalent to Canadian Language Benchmark CLB7 in English or French across all abilities, reading, writing, listening and speaking, and a Canadian educational credential, certificate, diploma or degree or foreign credential or educational credential assessment known as ECA report. At least 67 points on IRCC's 6 immigration selection factor. Enough money for you and your family to settle in Canada. The FSWP is one of 3 programs managed under Express Entry, which is the Canadian government's application system. The other programs include the Canadian Experience Class and the Federal Skilled Trade Program. Once an applicant has submitted an Express Entry profile, they will be ranked based on the comprehensive ranking system known as CRS. The CRS will give you a score out of 600 based on individual's factor including age, education, work experience and language skills. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada IRCC will then send out invitation to apply known as ITA for permanent residence to the highest scoring candidates. IRCC has recently introduced new category-based draw selection for Express Entry candidates. Candidates can be eligible under the new draw category if they have a strong French language proficiency or have work experience in the following areas: healthcare, STEM professions, trades such as carpenters, plumbers and contractors, transport, agriculture and agri-food. On June 28th, IRCC held its first ever category-based draw, inviting 500 healthcare workers to apply for permanent residency. Guys, now let's talk about the Provincial Nominee Program. The Provincial Nominee Program, known as PNP, is another popular option for candidates from Pakistan. The PNP allows each province and territory to design their own immigration pathways based on their labor market and economic and demographic needs. Provinces and territories will nominate foreign skilled workers for immigration to their provinces through the PNP. Each province has their own eligibility criteria that a candidate would be required to meet in order to be nominated. Candidates may apply directly to the province. However, candidates who are also in Express Entry pool can be invited to apply for nomination by a province. If a candidate is nominated through Express Entry, they receive an additional 600 CRS points, which essentially guarantees an ITA for permanent residence in an upcoming draw. Folks, now come to the work permits. In order to work in Canada, foreign workers usually need a work permit. Canadian work permits are divided into 2 programs: the Temporary Foreign Work Program (TWFP) and the International Mobility Program known as IMP. The main difference between the two is that the TWFP requires a labor market impact assessment known as LMIA, whereas the IMP do not. The LMIA is the employer's responsibility, and it demonstrates to the Canadian government that hiring a foreign worker will have a neutral and positive effect on the Canadian labour market. In most cases, a job offer from a Canadian employer is required to apply for a work permit. However, there are some situations where IRCC allows for open work permits which are not employer specific. Guys, study in Canada is another way to get Canadian PR. Canada is a very popular destination for international students due to its high quality and affordability of education, the opportunity to work while studying, and the permanent residency pathways that are available to international students upon graduation. Data from IRCC shows Canada welcomed around 551,000 international students from 148 countries in 2022. In addition, at the end of 2022, there were around 90,000 international students holding valid study permits, another all-time high. In order to study in Canada, you must first be accepted to a Canadian school. Once you get your letter of acceptance, you then apply for your study permit. There are more than 1,500 designated learning institutions in Canada that accept international students. After graduation, international students may be eligible to stay in Canada for up to 3 years depending on the length of study program with a post-graduation work permit (PGWP). In addition, Canadian education can put you at an advantage when applying for permanent residence, as many federal and provincial immigration programs value candidates with Canadian education and work experience. There are many immigration options available to you. If you are originally from Pakistan and want to settle in Canada, it is recommended to consult with an experienced immigration lawyer that will explain the programs available and guide you through the application process. Guys, that's all for now. If you want to stay updated on the latest developments about immigration and visas news of all major countries, then keep watching the channel Global Immigrations and Visas News. To give us a motivational support, like this video, subscribe it, and leave your question in the comment section. Until the next video, take care and bye bye.